Becoming Naomi Leon, Group 1 presentation. A quick presentation overview will tell you that we are going to talk about character introductions and a brief story synopsis. We're going to go quickly through Naomi's development. We are going to talk a little bit about what the teacher needs to be in the know and how that information is relevant. We will go over any additional information that the teacher or the school district may want to seek. We will discuss the student, in this case Naomi's, strengths and challenges, how a classroom could be set up to be successful and what that might look like, and then also how to make some family connections. So quickly here, we will do character introductions. The first character we would like you to know about is Skyla, who is Terry Lynn by birth. She is Naomi and Owen's biological mother. She changed her name and has a new boyfriend, Clive. She abandoned her children 7 years earlier, and when she came back, she was unrecognized by her children. She has a history of alcohol abuse and neglect. She is narcissistic, manipulative, and unable to deal with Owen's exceptionalities. The next character we would like you to know is Graham. She's the children's great-grandmother, Skyla's grandmother. She took in Naomi and Owen and raised them for the last 7 years. She is noted for her blue-tinted hair and wearing polyester jogging suits. She loves Wheel of Fortune and watches it religiously with her best friend Fabiola. Their record is 743 consecutive Monday through Friday episodes, and uses positive thinking to control the outcomes in her life. She provides routine and safety for Owen and Naomi. And again, her best friend and neighbor through the grove are Fabiola and Bernardo. The next character we would like you to know is Owen. He is Naomi's brother. He has one leg that is shorter than the other. He's small, he's smart, loving. He's a very good student, gets excellent grades. He has exceptionalities. He's had many surgeries to try and fix his physical deformities. He wears tape on his clothing for comfort and is bullied frequently at school. Some other characters that we feel like you should be in the know, again, are Bernardo and Fabiola. They are the family friends that live through the avocado grove with their dog Lulu. Mrs. Maloney, who is an 88-year-old neighbor in the trailer park. Mr. Marble, an elementary school librarian at Buena Vista, where Naomi goes to school, and also a mentor in Naomi's life, I would say. Miss Morimoto, Buena Vista Elementary School 5th grade teacher, who also is Naomi's teacher. Blanca Paloma is Naomi's brand new best friend, just moved to Buena Vista School. Flora, Pedro, Graciela, Benny, and Ruben are Mexican relatives of Bernardo and Fabiola living in Oaxaca City. Santiago is Naomi and Owen's father. And then there's Aunt Teresa, who is Naomi and Owen's great aunt, a relative of Santiago's. Finally, this brings us to our main character, Naomi Soledad Outlaw Leon. She is a 5th grader at Buena Vista Elementary in Lemon Tree, California. She lives with her brother Owen, under the care of their maternal great-grandmother, lovingly called Graham, in a mobile home at Avocado Acres Trailer Rancho. Naomi tries to cope with stress in her life by making lists. I've had all kinds of lists in my notebook, she says, the shortest being things I'm good at, which consisted of 1, soap carving, 2, worrying, and 3, making lists. Naomi is a very sensitive character in that she is keenly aware of her situation throughout the story. She is reluctant to form social bonds with her peers, seemingly only connects to the new girl Blanca Paloma, but is capable of forming bonds with trusted adults in her life, like Grams, Fabiola, and Bernardo, and Mr. Marble. Although Naomi considers her homeroom teacher, Miss Morimoto, nice, she does not have the same bond with her that she has with Mr. Marble, the school librarian. Naomi is astute where her mother is concerned. Although she has high hopes that Skyla will become a mother of the type her friends enjoy having, she remains skeptical that this will be the case. Her doubts are proven at nearly every encounter with her mother, from the endless gifts for her and Owen's neglect, and the failure for her to show up for conferences that she promised to attend, to finally showing her true colors as an uncaring person, calling Owen a blem. at a doctor's appointment and refusing to take him along to Las Vegas, despite the support money he would bring to her and new boyfriend Clive. Where Naomi shows the inability to stand up for herself while she's selectively mute against her mother in the beginning of the novel, she is protective of Owen after Skyla's rejection of him. She says, "I was shaking like a leaf, but my instincts moved my body right between Owen and Skyla." Naomi then finds the strength to refuse her mother's command to pack. She gets Owen out the door to Fabiola and Bernardo's home to safety instead. Naomi has several coping mechanisms for the insecurities in her life. One is list making to manage anxiety. A second is isolating herself to manage selective mutism. The third is carving to manage shaking hands. And although it is not expressly said, it is insinuated that Naomi may have been abused to a degree as a young child, in addition to being sorrowfully neglected with her brother while in Mexico. Naomi Soledad Outlaw Leon has had a lot to contend with in her young life. Her name, constantly being teased by boys at school, her clothes, sewn in polyester by Graham, her difficulty speaking up, and her status at school as nobody special. But according to her Graham, most problems can be overcome with positive thinking. And with Graham and her little brother Owen, Naomi's life at Avocado Acres Trailer Rancho in Lemon Grove, California is happy and peaceful. Until their mother reappears after abandoning them 7 years ago on Graham's doorstep, full of infected flea bites. Her arrival stirs up all sorts of questions and challenges Naomi to discover and proclaim who she really is. Fabiola and Bernardo take the three of them on a road trip to Oaxaca City in search of their father in hopes of solving all their problems. On the journey, Naomi learns about her Mexican heritage, experiencing Las Posadas and La Noche de los Rebaños, No Accommodations, and Night of the Radishes firsthand, and learning a lot about who she is inside. The song that you'll be hearing in the background is Las Posadas. So a little bit about Naomi's development. So her physical development shows increase in muscle resulting in greater strength. She has fine motor skills, greater flexibility. She also, when she moved in with Graham, at first her hands shook and they needed to give her something to do, so they gave her soap carving to keep her hands busy. Some cognitive development that was going on were increased memory and attention, sorting, classification, experimenting with variables, new gains in memory strategies, understanding of limitations. Naomi didn't talk until she was almost 6 years old, and the counselor said it was selective mutism from insecurities and trauma during her young life. When she first moved in with Graham, her hands shook, and so they needed to do that to not only keep her hands busy, but also her mind working. It seems like she's in the concrete operational state in Pyget's terms. She's got the coordinated mental actions that allow children to mentally combine, separate, order, and transform concrete objects and events that children experience directly. So her social emotional development is definitely defined in relation to her peers. This stage increases the ability to make and keep friends. She just made a new friend of Blanca and is very fixated on keeping that friend. As the story progresses, she has success in coping with increased expectations from maturity, creates positive self-esteem. Because of her early experiences, she may not have a well-defined self-identity at the start of the story, but after the experiences of meeting her mother, traveling to Mexico, and meeting her father, she starts to form that self-identity. Here is a quick snapshot of what Naomi's list looked like. Things I'm good at: regular and everyday worries, abominations, splendid words, types of rocks, unusual names, baby animal names, breeds of horses, animal groups, regular and everyday worries about Mexico, things I saw on my way to Oaxaca City. So here's some information that we felt Naomi's teacher should know about her. She has few friends and is teased by the boys about her last name, Outlaw. She was abandoned by her mother 7 years earlier, and she now reappeared in Naomi's life. She lives in the trailer park with her Graham, her great-grandmother, and little brother Owen. She is protective of Owen, as he has had many surgeries and looks differently, resembling her mother's heritage, not her father's, in addition to physical abnormalities. She is half Mexican from her father's side. Her mother was from Oklahoma. She's inherited the strong characteristics from her father's side of the family, such as dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin. Recently befriended the new student Blanca, who's also Hispanic. And Fabiola and Bernardo are their neighbors that have a strong bond with the children, too, and that's important to keep note of as the story goes. So how does this help the teacher? The awareness of the neglect and abandonment can help the teacher to place importance on building connections and trust. Knowing that Naomi is shy can be useful in helping the teacher diversify teaching in the classroom. Maybe she'll do some small group work instead of pushing her into large group activities. Understanding that Naomi is very good at working with her hands helps the teacher know that including kinesthetic activities can help Naomi excel in her work. Also, knowing that there is a change or transition at home should be known so that the connection can be made with Naomi's gram, including her in school activities, conferences, and communication. There should also be encouragement for Naomi to share and open up about what's going on. Being aware of her connection with Owen is also important because they're each other's constant support. Their unique circumstances help explain why Naomi feels protective of him. The stress of Skylar's presence may show in Naomi's daily routine, communication, and work ethic in and out of school. So some additional information that the school district and the teacher may want to seek is that obviously knowing about the trip that they were taking to Mexico and the reasons for taking the trip. Knowing about her caregiver information will help the school know who's authorized to be on the school premises or to take children off premises. Knowing what the family counselor had to say about ongoing problems due to early childhood circumstances could be useful. Background information on her selective mutism could help the school be aware of any therapy measures that might help or be needed again. Knowing about her carving can help teachers bolster confidence and foster connections, and then knowing her interest in list making and splendid words could also be helpful in helping the teacher make connections and differentiate instruction. Her strengths are she's kind, considerate, responsible. She's got the unique soap carving talent. She's very smart. She's a good friend, respectful, shy, and quiet. Post-trip, she learns to find her voice and has a self-awareness. I think it also helped that she connected with her culture. Challenges would be that she's very shy and wouldn't always share her feelings, keeps to herself, and would maybe make interacting with her difficult. She worries a lot, so may have some anxiety. Difficult to speak up and seek help if needed. May not tell someone if she's being teased or being picked on. Her support and protection of Owen could cause her difficulties. Her low economic status could play a role in how she interacts with others because of her homemade clothes and bringing unwanted attention from kids. What we think a successful classroom would look like is one that's inviting and warm with rules established and enforced. A nurturing environment that encourages self-expression would be most advantageous to Naomi. The teacher would use diverse learning strategies like singing and using visual strategies and hands-on activities often. The teacher really knows and understands all of her students' background information, strengths, and weaknesses. Knowing or understanding students' developmental stages can also help the teacher understand cognitive, physical, emotional, and social changes occurring, which will guide in communication, interaction, and instruction. Connecting, encouraging, challenging, enforcing classroom rules, establishing trust, and showing compassion with and for all students. Working in small groups and a themed unit might be advantageous learning environment for Naomi. And ways that we could connect with her family would be to emphasize Graham's role in Naomi's life. It's very important keeping her connected to what's going on at school and making sure everyone's on the same page. Showing excitement upon Naomi's return to school would be very important due to the changes she's experiencing. She could be asked to share about her trip or showcase her work, and that would encourage her to grow some more. I would invite her caregiver, Mary Outlaw, to volunteer in the classroom. She has a lot to offer. Bernardo has expertise in wood building. Keeping communication open, though, I think is really key. Also, talking, sharing, encouraging learning about Naomi's Mexican heritage would also be a good advantage for all the class. that is our story, and we hope that you enjoyed this little presentation and that you'll take the time to read the story for yourself. Thanks.